The world has just been at war, facing off some of the world's greatest leaders. Their conflict ended on an uneasy peace, the Treaty of Versailles. It has left the losers in shambles with vast debts they could not pay off, allowing for the rise of radical leaders. Mussolini, Hitler, Hideki Tojo. These powers would soon set the groundworks for World War II. Hitler strengthened his army. The Allies did nothing. Hitler rebuilt the Luftwaffe. The Allies did nothing. Hitler remilitarized the Rhineland, and the Allies did nothing. Hitler is given the Sudetenland. Then he took the rest of Czechoslovakia, and the Allies did nothing. Then he took Poland, and the Second World War began. Now, Germany began eyeing up France.
Idiot! You're the idiot! No, you! No, you! On the ground! France is won!
With Germans' victories and only Britain left to oppose them, we switch over to Japan, who looked to carry out their imperialistic ideals. The Philippines stood in Japan's way of moving further south. However, the Philippines was America's. Thus, Japan looked to take the first swing and crumple their naval might.
Where's Japan?
What?
At least my supply vessels survived.
Now, remember Germany? Yeah, well, with few opponents left in Europe other than Britain, they launched the largest ground invasion in history. They made huge progress, but still, the tides would turn. But for now, back to Japan with the newly acquired Philippines and look to keep it theirs from the growing American power.
So you're saying they'll attack next at Midway? Yeah. So, how about we move our ships out to the side. These are hidden beyond the horizon. And then, when they try to attack, these two go around and we surround them. Sound good?
Sounds good to me, sir.
Oh! It worked! Let's go!
After the Allies began turning the tide of the war in their favor at the Battle of Midway, they started to take the offensive and began focusing on Japanese-held islands in the Pacific. General Douglas MacArthur used his plan of island hopping to hop past Japanese strongholds and to take islands closer to Japan. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union was locked in a deadly battle against Germans on the Eastern Front. Hitler sent his armies to seize oil fields in the south, as well as his Sixth Army to capture Stalingrad. On August 23, 1942, the Battle of Stalingrad began. The German Air Force began to bomb the city, leaving only behind rubble. With seemingly no hope, the Soviet troops stayed defending the city under Stalin's orders. Then, winter came, and on November 19th, 1942, the once desperate Soviet troops found strength once again. They surrounded the city and cut off supplies from some 90,000 German troops. Although the Soviets lost over 1 million troops, the Germans were now on the defensive. Germany took their new position to heart, reinforcing the Pacific Wall, knowing an invasion was coming, and thanks to Operation Fortitude, they believed it would come at Calais. However, those invasions would never come, as the landings would rather be at Normandy, and on June 6, 1944, the invasions began.
Yes! D-Day complete!
With the Allies gaining a foothold in Europe, Germany's vast empire began to fall quickly. First France, and now, the Allies were pushing towards Germany's original borders. Looking to turn the situation around, Hitler made his stand at the Battle of the Bulge. Success there would be short-lived. The Allies would defeat Hitler's armies and push on to Berlin.
Charge!
With Hitler's death came the end of the war in Europe. However, Japan remained, and each United States landing was becoming harder and harder. Thus, on August 6, 1945, the United States dropped Little Boy on Hiroshima, and 3 days later, they dropped Fat Man on Nagasaki.
Mes užsimušime, jeigu mes neatakuosime dabar. Japonijai neatrodo gera situacija, reikia atakuoti dabar.